Welcome to The Right Question. I'm Daphne Grey-Grant. My topic today is whether or not using jargon ever makes any sense. I have a question from Mathili Dokuparte, a researcher based in Bangalore, India. Here's what he's asked via email. For writers, how important is it to adopt jargon specific to the domain in which they're working? I've recently started working for a life sciences technology company. Although I find it relatively easy to understand most of the concepts, some specific terminology, such as implementation and product life cycle, mean very specific things in my industry. Does it make sense for me to incorporate such jargon in my writing? And if so, how do you suggest I do that? Thanks for your question, Mathili. Actually, I have two quite different answers for you. Which one you accept depends entirely on who you are writing for. If your audience is a general one, the public, it makes sense to avoid using jargon. Jargon only frustrates people. Jargon excludes people, and that makes them feel frustrated. To help everyone watching this video really understand these feelings of exclusion, let me share some jargon with you. When you join us for the sits, please assemble at the SD no later than 1:30 p.m. Our ASM will meet you and escort you to HL. After the first run, he'll be able to show you the pit, the flies and tormentors in the wings, the psych, and try out the cross. Did you get that? That burst of jargon came from my son, who studied to become an opera singer. And he gave me this example to use with my clients. Here's what it really means. When you come to the first rehearsal with the orchestra, meet at the stage door no later than 1:30. Our assistant stage manager will meet you and escort you to the left side of the stage. After the first run-through, he'll show you the pit where the orchestra sits, the props and sets, the black curtain, the backdrop, and the special place where singers can walk across the stage without being seen by the audience. Now that I've put that text into plain English, doesn't it make a lot more sense to you? The issue with jargon is that it's useful to people who already know what it means and intensely frustrating for those who don't. That's why if your job is to communicate with outsiders, meaning stockholders, government officials, or even the general public, you should avoid using jargon. It's only going to confuse and alienate them. On the other hand, if you're writing for insiders, people for whom this type of vocabulary is a kind of shorthand, then yes, you should use it because it will only increase your clarity and precision. I used to work in the newspaper business and we had lots of jargon. Lead, kicker, banner, clip art, cold type, color key, copy desk, dateline, folio. These words all meant very specific things, and using them allowed us to save time. But we never used these words with outsiders because they'd have had difficulty understanding them. One other point, you are particularly useful to your company right now because you haven't yet absorbed all of this jargon. This means you're in the perfect position to decide whether the communications your company is planning is going to be understandable to outsiders. If for internal communications processes you want to make yourself more familiar with the jargon your company uses, start by building a glossary for yourself. See link below. Don't try to finish the glossary in a couple of days. Give yourself a generous amount of time, say 6 weeks, and make sure you truly understand all the terms you've put on this list. It's not likely you'll ever need to consult this glossary yourself. In fact, writing down the terms will help cement the knowledge in your own mind. But it will give you the chance to review all the information with someone else from the company who's worked there for longer than you have. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from German philosopher and sociologist Theodor Adorno. Words of the jargon sound as if they said something higher than what they mean. Mathili, jargon is neither all good nor all bad. There are reasons for it and places for it. Just don't use it with the general public.